Good morning, all of you. So now it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Robert Carlson, Chairman of School of Applied Technology, IIT Chicago. Dr. Carlson is the founder and Dean of School of Applied Technology, or SAT, at the IIT Chicago. He has guided the development of SAT to becoming one of the largest colleges at Illinois Tech. He's also a full-time professor of IT and management departments and executive director of the Entrepreneurship Academy at Illinois Tech. He has over 160 research publications and is widely known in industry and business for the application of his large-scale database design techniques, his testing maturity model for managing software testing, and the business innovation maturity model for guiding corporate innovate development. Dr. Robert Carlson was instrumental in setting up the India operations in 1997, and it is because of him we have 6 locations across India. On a personal note, that's how I got introduced to IIT Chicago. I attended his first class when he did the first maiden program where he was here personally to deliver a 1-semester course in 4 days. And that's when I know that, okay, it's going to be an interesting next few years.
It's been very surprising, just before I start talking, that 2 individuals, at least 2, who were in that first class that I gave here live at Motorola showed up today. And I can't tell you how rewarding that makes me feel. On behalf of the faculty of the Illinois Institute of Technology, I'd like to congratulate the graduating class. And I'd like to congratulate your parents, your siblings, your friends who've shown up here to celebrate this day with you. So if you'd go with me, let's give them a hand of applause. It's been mentioned that you're joining an elite group of alumni, and you may not know a lot about our alumni, but there's 70,000 of them. And I'd like to just fill you in on a few of them because they're good role models for what your life might become. We think of ourselves as a STEM school. So in science, we have people like Susan Solomon, who discovered the hole in the ozone and won the Nobel Prize with her team for that discovery. In technology, wow. Marvin Kamras was a student at IIT when he discovered how to affect magnetic recording. Later on, Marty Cooper came along and is the father of modern cell phones. But there are others. Actually, in the ITM department right now, we have Bill Ladinsky, who is the father of local area networks. And in electrical engineering and biomedical engineering, Phil Troik is a faculty member working on implanting electronics in the eyeball using the University of Chicago Medical School to do it, to help transform people with eye impairments. So technology has always played a big role in what our graduates have accomplished. And then there's engineering. Wow. All one needs to do is look to India and see the impact of engineering. Names like Petroda, Godrej, Prasad, Amin. There are many, many graduates and others who've assumed leadership roles here in India who've come out of engineering. So it's definitely a strong pathway for success. But not everybody has stuck to their original field of study. Let me give you a couple examples. Andrea Berry was a computer science student who graduated about the time I came to IIT and was computer science chairman. And she went on, because of her doing exactly what you've witnessed, she worked in the IIT online office. And so she got used to camera setups to broadcast our courses. So when she graduated, instead of going to a computing company and being a programmer, she actually went to Fox Network and worked in their video side of the business. She rose to the ranks of vice president, and she had what a wonderful job. She got to do the broadcasting of multiple Olympics. Now, I'm sure there was a lot of stress, but can you imagine that's your job? Very exciting. She's not the only one who deviated from her major. We have here in India, Chandra Sarkar is in Parliament. We have a fellow who was very successful career in environmental protection, who went on to become the president of Lithuania when the Soviet Republic broke up. So there are a lot of role models that you can look to for guiding your success. So when you get out, go for it. Go for it. It's going to be some of the best years of your life, actually finding out what you're made of and what you like to do and pursuing your career goals. But along the way, guess what? Changes will occur. People talked about technology-driven society that we live in. Well, as technology changes, guess what? People lose jobs. I know of a dozen vice presidents who are no longer vice presidents. I know another 20 or 30 who were programmers in Bell Labs, no longer working for Bell Labs. So rather than casting a spell on what it means to be a graduate, the reality is as opportunities come, and they come very frequently. And so you have to prepare yourself to take advantage of these opportunities. And what we're finding now, after many, many years, is that when students graduate, let's take myself. When I graduated with a PhD, the last thing I ever thought I would do would be to go back to school. But what we're finding now is that in our continuing education organization, that we have a lot of people who have at least one master's degree. Several have PhDs, two in particular that I can think of. One has a PhD from Stanford, and another from Michigan. And what has happened to them? Well, they've had to redefine their career. They had to explore new technologies and start in a different direction. And so that has become very, very popular. And so I would just remind you that somewhere along the way you might want to do that. And here I'll put in a plug for IIT. We've been doing this continuing ed, and actually one of the most exciting things that's happened of late is that we're getting people, particularly out of the telecommunication industry, who are coming back to go into our cybersecurity programs. And as I was telling the people here in Bangalore, our professional masters in cybersecurity is now starting to fall, will be all online. We had a couple courses that were not online, and we've changed the curriculum, and so it's going to be available internationally. Why? Well, this is one of the most popular areas. I just did a study of recent graduates of the program. These are people who've been out less than 5 years. Every one of them was a director of cybersecurity for either a mid-size or a large-scale company. Vice presidents at Goldman Sachs, the director of cybersecurity at KPMG, a good friend of ours, Tanmay Patani. What a life. In this capacity in cybersecurity, he has gone off and worked with the World Bank on money laundering. He's gone over to companies in China where there's been ransomware attacks, and he's had to deal with them. So there are always new areas of study that are coming up that if you take a course or through our continuing ed, you can stay up to speed. You can adjust your career to new opportunities. And I would urge you to do that. Finally, I just want to say congratulations. Have fun, work hard, okay? Spend a little more time with your family now that you're not studying so much, okay? And if in the future you need to avail yourself of some of the many services we offer, I would remind you that we have the alumni group. That's a very good group for networking and getting information out about new opportunities that you might be able to avail yourself of. Continuing ed, I just mentioned that. It's finally come around. You know, mid-career people are realizing that if they don't invest in their future, it is that mid-career, that they're on a downward slope, that some of the industries that they attach themselves to are basically going out of business. I mean, look at the Amazon effect. That's changing a lot of things. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. So be agile. One of those popular programming terms, be agile in your career and take courses when needed to advance your career. So with that, I just want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you for the opportunity after 20 years to be able to be back here and talk to you. It's very rewarding to see what has happened to this program. With 650 alumni here alone, 10% of our students are from India. And so there have to be many, many more alumni in India that you probably would benefit from working together with. So with that, thank you and congratulations.